Okay, we're going to continue our talk on our series, More Than a Fan. Today's talk is entitled Fan or Follower. This series is designed to challenge all of us. Basically, two groups of people here. Those of us who have made a decision to be followers of Jesus and are committed to that. I want to challenge us to take it to another level and really ask ourselves the question, really? I say I'm an FOJ, a follower of Jesus. Am I really? And what does that mean? And what does that look like? And what does Jesus expect from me as his follower? The other group is, for those of you who are still kicking the tires and you're kind of wondering what this is all about, you're not sure where you're at in your walk with God, man, you are at a great place in terms of being here this morning. And I want to challenge you to, you know what, make that commitment, and we will help you understand what Jesus is expecting from you as you're counting the cost. So whichever camp you're at this morning, let this talk really challenge us, and let's spiritually, emotionally, mentally posture ourselves this morning for a challenge. Okay? Part 3, fan or follower. I'm going to start by reading Luke 9, verse 23 out of the New Living Translation. And he said unto all, if any man would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. As a follower of Jesus, Jesus clearly instructs us to take up our cross daily, not annually or not once in a while or not when it's convenient, but to daily follow him. I wish we had time for those who would like to stand up and say, this is what that means to me. I'm asking, what does picking up your cross daily and mean to you? Think about it. Meditate on it. Maybe discuss it with others. What does that look like for you? What should it look like? What was Jesus getting at when he instructed all of us to pick up our cross daily and follow him? I remember where this first became a reality in my life. At 15 years old, I became a follower of Jesus. I was a sophomore in Octorara High School. And it was a daily cross that I bore there. I mean, there were almost every day, if not every day, there was someone either laughing at the position I'm taking as a follower of Jesus, teasing me. I can remember clearly walking into the cafeteria, and I was quite vocal and bold about my position with Jesus, and my practice was praying for my meal. I can remember times I would sit down and guys were already giving me a hard time about or laughing about my weekend or where I was in my journey with Jesus. And I can remember one time saying, now hold it guys, I need to pray. And everything got quiet. And I was blessing my food because I was also saying, Lord, what should I tell these people? What should I tell these guys? My point is, it was like every day. That was my cross. What is your cross? What does your cross look like today? Now, we live in a country where we are not persecuted as they were in the early church. Thank God for that. But that doesn't mean this is no longer relevant. Let's think outside of that box. This is, as I understand what Jesus was saying here, this is what comes to my mind. The cross, I believe, is our daily responsibility or call to live for him and follow him no matter what the cost. The cross was a symbol of humility, suffering, and death. If that is accurate, then the next question I want to ask all of us today is, am I really carrying my cross daily if there is no suffering or sacrifice? I was tempted to just ask that question and dismiss us, because it is that critical and that important, I think. And it merits our meditation, our contemplation, thinking about it. If I say I'm an FOJ, and I can't remember the last time I made a sacrifice or I was inconvenienced because I'm an FOJ, come on, am I really a follower of Jesus? Whoa. Here's another question, maybe a little different twist. When is the last time following Jesus cost you something? Someone told me after the first service that they believe because of their position as a follower of Jesus is why he lost his job recently. If you're not sure where I'm going with that, let me just juggle your mind a bit, stimulate your thinking. When's the last time or did it cost you a promotion? Maybe it cost you a promotion. You knew that you were in line for that promotion, but because of your stand, they were reluctant to give you the promotion. When's the last time it cost you a relationship? You were in a relationship, but you knew it was not honoring to God. And you said, I got to get out of this relationship, man. It is toxic. I got to get away from it. And the only reason you did that is because you want to take a stand for Jesus. When's the last time it cost you something? How about a meal? You did without a meal. Maybe a hardship that you went through because of your stand. How about maybe you were just inconvenienced? Or when's the last time it really impacted your reputation because of the stand that you've taken? Or did it impact, maybe it cost you financially? You could have done this deal, but you knew it was a little shady, but there were thousands of dollars involved. But instead of doing that shady deal, you did what was right. And it cost you. Just because you're a follower of Jesus. No one else will ever know. That's the kind of stuff he expects from us as followers of Jesus. When's the last time your rights, as you thought you had, were violated? I had the right to this. This was my right. But because of the stand that you've taken for Jesus, you weren't honored. Or maybe it's you a misunderstanding. Or maybe you felt unaccepted because of the stand that you've taken. Whatever. When is the last time following Jesus cost you something? And again, if I really can't remember, then let's ask God to help us. See, the cross, as I understand it, picking up my cross daily and following Him, as I understand it, is all about self-denial, isn't it? It's all about self-denial. And we, I say we, as Americans, don't talk to us about self-denial. We like to be pampered. We like to buy whatever we want. We like to get it now. We don't want to wait. We're not into character development. Don't give me that stuff. I mean, we are the consumer, we are the customer, and we are always right. That, I think, impacts our walk with God in ways that we don't even understand or we don't make the connection. We think it is my right. I am an American. I want service, and I want it now. And if I don't get it how I want it, I don't care what that waiter or waitress is going through. It doesn't matter. I'm not even going to take the time and say, is there something bothering you? No, it's all about me and my service. You understand what I'm saying? That's the mindset that we have to guard against constantly. When Jesus says, follow me, pick up your cross daily. It might be for that moment a waitress or a waiter that just ticked you off. And I can't handle that well. And these people were persecuted. And I can't handle food that comes out that's not like I like it and I lose it. Where have we gone? Can't I just shut up and eat it? And say, it really doesn't matter if my steak isn't done just like I'd want it done. I mean, these are all little things, but they creep into our psyche. They creep into our mind. And we forget about denying self. That's what the cross is all about. That's what Jesus wants from us. He said, I expect you. I want you to pick up your cross daily and follow me. The cross is about choosing to no longer live for self, but for Him. It's not about me. It's about living for Him. And I mess that up more times than I'd like to think. He called us to come and follow Him, wherever that might lead us, and whatever it might cost. What's it costing me today? Can I think over the last month? And I can say, yep, because of that, because of the position I've taken, it cost me this. See, He didn't call us to be fans, to sit on the bleachers with our pom-poms and cheer Him on while He does all the work. Remember, the definition of a fan is an enthusiastic admirer. I mean, there are those of us who, when we talk about Jesus, even when we worship Him, when we come to church, man, we are enthusiastic admirers. I mean, this is the best thing since sliced bread. This is wonderful. But Monday morning, you would not have a clue that person was in the presence of Jesus. Is that your experience? I want us to just, for the next few minutes, look at what I think a fan, an enthusiastic admirer, might look like, and how that compares to being a real follower of Jesus. Now, if you were teaching this, you may pick other things. This is not an exhausted list. These are just some things that came to my mind as I was preparing and praying and thinking, what is the difference between a fan and a real follower of Jesus? And I want all of us to think about where you're at on your journey. Don't push this off on anyone else. Where are you on your journey? And as I describe characteristics of a fan, say, is that me? Does that look like me? Does that sound like me? Okay, so here we go. The first thing I thought about as I thought about fans was fans enjoy the game without taking any hits or even breaking a sweat. But they enjoy the game. Fans attend an event where they're spectators and would never consider making a sacrifice. I mean, this is just an event that they're attending. Fans, they dress for the occasion and even look the part. I mean, you walk around the stadium, you're not sure if this person is a player or a fan. I mean, they got the jersey going on. Nikki, you got the jersey going on. And we look like the fan, but they may look like a fan, or they are a fan, but they don't play in the game, or they would never get dirty. Here's a great characteristic of a fan, and does this describe you? The uniform's always clean. They wouldn't get involved in someone else's mess. No, not a fan. It's too messy. It takes too much time. It's too inconvenient. Their uniforms, just like a fan sitting in the stands. You never see grass stains on those jerseys. They're squeaky clean. That's the life of a fan. Don't get me involved. I'm too busy, and here's the biggie. I got my own issues to deal with. I can't work with someone else's issues. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Amen. That keeps so many people down. And here's why. We will never get finished dealing with our own issues. We all have issues. And if I wait till all my issues are taken care of, guess what? I will live my life, all of my life, focusing on my issues, and I'll never have a dirty jersey. No grass stains on my outfit. That's the life of a fan. See, here's another huge thing that we got to be careful about. Fans scream and holler during the game, but go back to their homes without any real change. Nothing took place in that event that impacted their life at all. And I think, how many people come to church? Man, they get into the worship. Yes, they leave. Nothing has changed. They scream, they holler, yes, Jesus. They walk out and they don't touch base with him till next Sunday again. But they wouldn't miss that exciting event. Here's another one. Fans don't prepare for the game by hitting the weight room and reading the scouting report on the opposition. They just show up. How much preparation do I put into even just coming here? Do I talk to God on the way? Do I prepare my heart? Am I tuned into the opposition? Oh, no, the enemy, he's going to want me. He's going to try to distract me today. He doesn't want me to receive any principles that will help me get beyond where I'm at. Do I position myself? Am I in tune with what he's saying? Or do I just show the freaking up? I just show up. And I show up next week. And I show up next week. And then I get a call, or we get calls. I don't even want to go there. And we'll talk more about that next week when we talk about what a true follower looks like. You don't want to miss it if you're interested in your walk with God. There's no preparation for the game. Don't ask them to hit the weight room, man. Don't ask them to break out into a sweat. Here's another one. Fans expect others to put in the time and do the hard work. As Cody said, we need volunteers. A fan will say, boy, I hope they get enough help. I hope they get all the help they need for that, because we really need help around here, but I guess they'll make out without me. See, a fan expects everyone else to do the work. Fans only go to the game. They wouldn't consider getting involved. And here's the most important part of all of this, I think. See, fans know all about the players, but they don't know the players. And most importantly, fans know about the coach, but they have no personal relationship with a coach at all. They're just fans. Is that where you're at this morning? Are you? We have to ask ourselves, am I just a fan? Or am I a follower of Jesus? Fans don't follow the coach's instructions. They don't really care what the coach has to say. In fact, a fan will tell coach what to say. Why don't you pass the ball more? Why don't you run the ball more? Why don't you do this more? See, they run all their own plays, fans do, and call their own shots from the comfort of their favorite chair. And there are people in church who do that week after week after week. They're calling the shots. Jesus is saying that is so opposite of what I need and what I want from my followers. We'll look into that next week. We don't have the privilege. We don't have the privilege to call our own shots. A follower of Jesus has committed him or herself to self-denial. He says, follow me, pick up your cross daily, and follow me. We're called to be his followers, not his fans. Next week, we're going to look at some characteristics of a follower of Jesus. But today, I want us to think about, to ask the tough question, am I a fan? Or am I what I say I am to those who are FOJs? Am I really a follower of Jesus? I would encourage all of us to look at where we're at in our journey. And if you haven't committed to becoming a follower of Jesus, I would just say to you today, man, just commit totally to him and watch him revolutionize your life. Make a total commitment to him. And then you just hold on for the ride. For those of us who are, we're followers, but there's some work to do. I just want to say this to all of us who are FOJs. Just take Jesus with you wherever you go. Take him with you in your practice. Take him with you on the job. Take him with you in your schools, in your neighborhoods. Take him with you and let him lead us as individuals and as a church into areas that we never thought possible. That's what he wants to do. As a follower of Jesus. Let's ask God this morning to help us to pick up our cross daily and follow him. Let's stand as we close. And if you're here this morning and you'd like to have someone pray with you, there will be people in the front who'd love to pray with you about anything you may be going through. If you'd like to become an FOJ, you could talk to them about that. Or if there's other issues that you'd like to have someone pray with you about, feel free to do that as we close in prayer.